Hello, welcome to the 86 That Podcast, episode number 2. This week we are going to be talking about social distancing alphas and public washrooms during COVID. First up, not to unload, but I was in a local Walmart doing groceries this week, and there was a man who yelled at me. I walked by his wife. I had my mask on. I was maintaining the rules, right? I walked by. It could have been maybe 5 feet, but I was trying to maintain 6 feet. Walk by. I was just trying to shop, and this guy screams at the top of his lungs from like 2 freezers away. We're in the produce. He screams at the top of his lungs, 6 feet, and honestly, I get it. Every single job that I've worked during COVID, we say try to remain 10 feet just to be sure that we're sticking to the 6 foot, So I get it at the same time, but you don't have to scream at the top of your lungs across the store just because a guy is walking by your wife. You know what I mean? I totally get the whole, I get why, but you shouldn't have the audacity to scream at people because they're walking by you, you know what I mean? I think that, I could have went around the other way, that's fine. There's other options or other ways around it, solutions, but, these people who are screaming at people for, I was trying to find the eggs, you shouldn't scream at somebody. I was gonna reverse it when he yelled 6 foot. I was gonna be like, you can have her. I'm not interested, right? But that's, it's weird how people try to act super alpha when they're like, oh, that's my wife. Oh, he's 5 feet away. He's supposed to be 6. You know what? I'll move a foot over. You know what I mean? There's no, you're gonna act like you're the boss of the store because I walked by your wife? Come on, man. The audacity to yell 6 feet across the freezers, dude, I'm just looking for the bacon and eggs, man. Leave me alone. I'm shopping just as much as you're shopping. You're standing 50 feet away from your wife for what? Just, oh yeah, I'm following the rules. I'm more than 6 feet away from my wife. You came in with her. You can shop with her. Man, oh man. And I'm surprised because usually it's a Karen screaming at somebody about the rules and things like that, and it's fine. I learned, but it's just when you yell at somebody, personally, I hate yelling. I rarely raise my voice unless I have to tell you how it is, right? But you don't need to yell across the store. Just say, hey sir, just quick reminder, just try to be 6 foot. Yeah, that's fine. But when you scream at people, that makes them feel hated. It makes them feel like they can't shop in that store, but then, you realize no, it's just the feeling that comes from being yelled at, right? I was just looking for the eggs. And this guy has the audacity to yell. I'm walking by, there's no problem, I had my mask on. I kept walking before I said, what, man, you can have her, reverse it on him. Before I did that, I figured, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you're right, buddy. And then I just kept walking. And then when I saw them around the store, they were giving me some stinky stare, so I just kept walking. Eventually I found the eggs. And I saw them down the aisle. So I just grabbed the eggs, turned right around, and finished my shopping. But, it's social distancing alphas that piss me off like that, where it's I'm trying my best to follow the rules. It is my bad, 5 feet isn't 6 feet, and I'm just walking by his wife, but he can have her. He already has her, it looked like, the main point, just make sure you're following the rules so that some macho husband doesn't yell at you 6 feet and then you feel like shit because you're trying to shop and find the eggs and you didn't realize, you're just walking by somebody, right? it's an honest misunderstanding. If that man sees the podcast, I'm not ripping on you. I'm just saying there's a lot of social distancing alphas that will try and make situations out of nothing. Not that I'm saying that wasn't nothing. I totally get his concern. I'm just saying social distancing alphas, you got to be aware of them, and you got to know how to respond. I didn't reverse it. I didn't say, oh, you can have her, buddy. No, it's his wife. I was like, yo, you're right, buddy. And I just kept walking. So social distancing alphas, there's quite a few of them around there. Not that I'm saying there isn't any issues. Like, I'm sure people are overstepping the rules and things like that, and that's not okay. We need to follow the rules and stick to the guidelines, and we've got to stop yelling at people in local Walmarts, because from what I'm seeing, people are mostly keeping their distance, aside from that one interaction there. And I think what's most important is that Walmart actually has arrows on the floor directing which side of the aisle you should be walking, which direction. So I think it's good to follow that to avoid that type of situation again, because that scared the crap out of me. Somebody yelled 6 foot. I'm like, holy crap, who is that? Like, are they saying my height? And then I realized, oh, that was more like 5 feet. Okay, gotta pay attention, you know what I mean? So that was just crazy. A social distancing alpha, like he's trying to be at the top. He's 50 feet away from his wife, and he's yelling 6 foot at people so that they jump, and then they're like, oh shit, I'm not following the rules, when they're trying to follow the rules. You know what I mean? So like I said, just stick to the guidelines, maintain 6 feet. My thing, like, all the jobs I've worked since COVID, they've said try to maintain 10 feet to make sure that we're instilling the 6 foot. Ever since COVID hit, every job that I've worked, that's what they've said. So I try to keep that mindset. My bad, I walked by somebody, you know what I mean, and then the husband yelled. But we all gotta stick to the guidelines. We all gotta pay attention and make sure that a social distancing alpha doesn't scream at us when we're just trying to find the eggs. Like I said, stick to the guidelines. Maintain 6 feet or 10. If you're able to maintain 10, try that. That's the kind of mindset that I try to keep, besides that one exception that I just talked about. And the only reason why I'm talking about it is because we need to stick to the guidelines and flatten the wave. We gotta beat the COVID-19 virus, and we've got to flatten the curve, or whatever it is that they're saying. And just social distancing alphas, they get on my nerves. The audacity to yell at somebody across the store, when really he could have talked in his normal voice, he could have talked calmly, but he screams at the top of his lungs, 6 feet, and I'm like, holy crap, man, you can have her, right? But he was right, so I told him, you're right, gave him the benefit of the doubt, kept walking, doing my own shopping, ignoring that negativity, but I think it's a lesson, is like, gotta pay more attention, make sure that you're maintaining 6 to 10 feet, and yeah. Topic number 2 on the docket is public washrooms during COVID-19. And I get it. There's bars and restaurants and different establishments with all-inclusive gender bathrooms, or you know what I mean. But I came out of the washroom recently. I took a dump in a public washroom this week, and I came out, and there was a woman peeing in the sink. And this wasn't an all-inclusive bathroom. Let me just be clear. This wasn't an all-inclusive bathroom. And I took a dump, and I came out of the stall. This woman was literally sitting on the sink, taking a piss, and the women's washroom was next door. There wasn't a lineup. It was pretty quiet when I walked by. I don't think there was really anybody in there. And even if there was, she could have took a piss in the women's bathroom sink, you know what I mean? Like, I get it that like there are bathrooms that are all inclusive, but this was in a department store, and in most department stores they don't have the all inclusive bathrooms yet. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, this woman could have took a piss in the women's bathroom sink. You know what I mean? So like, I had to leave the bathroom and then go use the sanitizer at the front of the store. And thank God nobody else, like, it was so awkward, like, and like, I told the employee too that was at the front, right, and they were like, oh, that happens all the time, it's 2020, and I was like, oh my gosh. So, like, I asked, like, is it the same woman? And they're like, oh, no, like, it happens like 4 times a week, different women. And it seems to be denominated by women. Like, it's not like the men aren't going into the women's washroom and peeing in their sink, right? Like, it's weird, and I get it, you go to bars like the Townhouse and different establishments, they got the all-inclusive bathroom, and I'm all for that 100%. It's 2020, that's fine, but I don't think that women should be sneaking into the men's washroom and peeing in the sink. Especially with COVID going around, that I didn't like to see that. And like, it's 2020. If you want to go into the men's washroom, there's all-inclusive gender bathrooms, or whatnot, how it would be called, at different establishments, right? But you go to a department store, they still have separate washrooms. You need to accept that. You know what I mean? You can't walk into the men's washroom, pee in the sink. Like, I came out of the stall after taking a dump and I was like, wow, now I can't wash my hands. Like, it's 2020, we got to accept a lot of things, but I don't think that women should be sneaking into the men's washroom and peeing in the sink. Yeah, so that was kind of a couple stories that affected my week. But, yeah, next week, my camera boy is going to be here, just like my houseboy Jeffrey's here. No, stay off the camera, don't come in here. So, yeah, next week, camera boy is going to be here. That'll be sweet. We'll probably recap some of these stories because they were pretty stressful. But just picture that. You come out of the stall from taking a dump, and there's a woman peeing in the sink, and now you're pissed because you can't wash your hands, and you've got to explain it to the employee at the front. Like, it wasn't a good situation. It was pretty embarrassing. Like, when you see something, especially in a bathroom, and you want to tell someone in authority at the establishment you're at, but it's hard to explain it because it was a woman peeing in the sink or something weird of that nature, right? Like, it's embarrassing. Like it's hard to explain stuff like that when it's like so awkward, and like, yeah, it was weird. It was very, very weird, and like, these social distancing alphas, they're gonna be screaming at us left, right, and center soon, especially the people on the left side. They're gonna be telling us, like, eventually they're gonna make the rule 10 feet probably. You know what I mean? And then they're gonna be screaming that, right? Regardless, though, we just gotta stick to the guidelines, flatten the curve, and fight back and beat COVID-19. Like those Rob Ford shirts, conquer COVID-19. That's what we got to do. We got to conquer COVID-19. Basically, like, I'm all for the all genders in one bathroom. That's fine. It's 2020. If that's the way it is, that's the way it is, right? But you can't. But when there's department stores that have separate washrooms, you can't make your own rules. Like, I take a dump and come out of the stall, this woman's peeing in the sink. Like where did she graduate? Like, damn, like, it's the society is so weird right now. Like, it's ridiculous. I really hope that we flatten the curve, and yeah. Keep an eye out for social distancing alphas and women peeing in sinks in the men's bathroom. Alright, so we're done. That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning into the 86th App podcast. Next week, Camera Boy will be here. We might get houseboy Jeffrey on camera. No, stay. So, yeah, don't make me grab the rolled up newspaper. I mean it. So, if you enjoyed the 86th App podcast, don't forget to drop a like it on Spotify. Just whatever you can do to support the 86 That podcast right now. Thanks. Even just watching it or listening on Spotify, Apple Music, all that, that's sweet. Thank you. I'll see you next week with episode 3. And Camera Boy will be in the house, co-host. I will have a co-host next week and it will be great. So, I'm signing off. Hi Knuckles on the 86th That podcast, the 420 FM, the Highway 420 FM. We are here every Friday at 420, and it's been a blessing to be here. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next Friday with episode 3 with my co-host, Camera Boy. See ya.